Ubisoft news. Ubisoft announces the creation of a new subsidiary. Tencent will invest 1.1.1.6 billion for a minority stake, blacks, in the new subsidiary. This new subsidiary will focus on building game ecosystems designed to become truly evergreen and multi-platform. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ubisoft will not collapse. If you're not following, I also read in the other article, this new subsidiary, Tencent will get Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and another game. It's like their big three. So if you're not following, basically what happened is, because the articles that we've been reading is the Gamont family did not want to give full control of Ubisoft.
Poison Ivy's only fans before Selena sees
but
this.
they know they needed an Obama bailout, so they found a happy medium with it might have been Siege. I gotta look it up. I wish I would have saved the article. So they found a happy medium. Basically, they're giving away some of their big properties that'll be under Tencent's portfolio, but the rest of the stuff, basically Tencent was like, we really want these games. They represent Ubisoft. We really don't care about everything. And the rest of the portfolio, basically Ubisoft gets to keep, basically. So they're forming a new company under them that they'll be in co-ownership with. And the most important part is right here, this last part of the relationship. Tencent's trying to have mobile games in those and got pretty much. The new subsidiary would include teams developing, Rainbow Six Siege, Assassin's Creed, and the Far Cry. So the big three will now be under Tencent. Rayman. What else does Ubisoft own? Well, Star Wars, they don't own that. That's a different IP. Avatar Frontier, they don't own that. Skull and Bones. Breaking news. Tencent did not want to pay $2 billion for Skull and Bones. They get to keep the division. So you get it. You get it. But yeah, their big three of Rainbow, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry will now be under this, as well as the back catalog and any new games currently under development. That'll be under Tencent, so them bitches better sell. So Splinter Cell's safe. Yes, it's under Ubisoft. The new subsidiary would be granted by Ubisoft a worldwide exclusive, irrevocable and perpetual license in respect to the intellectual property and similar proprietary rights owned or licensable by Ubisoft in relation to Tom Clancy's. Yeah, we get it. Main terms of binding and agreements. Tencent would invest in this new subsidiary, so they're going to invest money in Assassin's Creed, Rainbow, all that, which is headquartered in France and 100% owned by Ubisoft immediately prior to the transaction. Specifically, at the closing of the transaction, Tencent would invest a total amount of 1.16 billion euros for approximately 25% of so they'll own 25% of this new subsidiary, meaning that 75% of Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow is still owned by Ubisoft. But they're trying to separate things basically so that they don't get everything. Economic interest in this subsidiary that will be used to strengthen Ubisoft's balance sheet by significantly reducing its consolidated. So in exchange for 25%, Tencent is going to take care of Ubisoft's debt. Ladies and gentlemen, Ubisoft's not going anywhere. Conditions present to the transaction. Assurance of a fairness opinion from Phoenix acting as an independent expert. I don't know what the fuck that means. Is that somebody from Tencent coming in giving in their opinion? Completion of the carve out to create the new. Yeah, we get it. Obtaining of the new necessary regulatory clearances. Yes, sir. Ubisoft can unilaterally waive the. What does that mean? Oops. Got fucking corporate talk over. Is a misspelling. Did I spell that? Supplying or distributing. Okay. So supplying into the fairness of opinion. Gotcha. Well, Rainbow Six wasn't doing anything new, at least. Apparently, it's got a big fan base, though. The completion of the transaction is expected before the end of 2025, so they're still figuring everything out. The new subsidiary would have dedicated a leadership team supervised by a board of directors, meaning that Tencent has power and influence over the future. The future of Assassin's Creed could have more microtransactions. You guys thought the Battle Pass was bad? Finexi is a bookkeeping accounting. Okay. So basically they had to be transparent and sharing info with the bookkeeping of Tencent. Okay, I'm following it now. Sorry if I'm reading slower, y'all. Like, my fucking head hurts. Tencent would benefit from customary minority protection veto rights as well as certain consent rights on the disposal of the important new subsidiary assets. So if Tencent don't like something Ubisoft's doing, they reserve the right to say, on those games specifically. Other provisions in relation to Tencent shareholding include a 5-year lockup undertaking on new subsidiary shares held by Tencent unless Ubisoft no longer owns a majority of voting rights. Ubisoft may not cease to hold a majority of new subsidiary voting rights and share capital for a 2-year period. So they're trying to consolidate all that power. You all good? I'm Googling right along with you. Some of these damn lawyer words. Customary share transfer provisions, including a right of first refusal to the benefit of Ubisoft or right of first offer to the benefit of Tencent, tag along right to the benefit of Tencent, and drag along right to the benefit. And then a call option to benefit of Ubisoft and put option to benefit. So we're just talking stocks.
Form of glazing. That means for every donation,
that's the main thing. Big boy words.
The chance to glaze. I mean,
yo, shout out to Cedric with the super chat. Just saying, hey, I appreciate you, Cedric, with the super chat. Thank you. What about Watch Dogs? Watch Dogs is not. So that's the actual official paperwork right here. And this is the main thing, a part of their agreement, right? So yeah, Watch Dogs is not listed. Watch Dogs will 100% be owned by Ubisoft. But Rainbow, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry, 25% is owned by Tencent. So don't be surprised. Really, Rainbow Six Siege, if you think it's bad now, they're probably about to microtransaction the fuck out that damn game. And don't be surprised if these go downhill. It could be nothing. It could be nothing. But, you know, when you're a loan shark, because Tencent is the loan shark, for those unaware. Think of that loan shark in Barbershop that was played by the dude who played Commander Anderson. Keith Anderson? Commander Anderson. I think his name Keith Anderson, is it? No, that is not. What is his name? He also played what's the name in Saints Row? Saints Row. Keith David. There we go. My bad. Keith David. Julius. Yeah. Think of that. They're basically a loan shark. They're bailing them out, but you know this is going to come with some power in exchange. I predict everything's going to be cool for about a year or two, but don't be surprised if some bullshit happens 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Does it mean something bad's gonna happen? No. It's just Tencent blew, for those unaware, Tencent blew up in China originally off of mobile games. And once they had enough money, they started buying small shares of companies like Epic. I think they had money in Blizzard. What is Tencent owns? No, gaming companies. They started buying shares in all different types of companies. I know they have it in Epic, Roblox, Riot. That's when you started seeing a lot of these games kind of go downhill with the microtransactions. So they take their mobile philosophy and they try to implement it into everything. And that's the main concern why a lot of people are a little worried about that. But the good thing is, shout out to Ubisoft. I hope they have something in the tuck, because you can't ride the success of Assassin's Creed forever and Rainbow and Far Cry. So shout out to them for creating a separate company that said, hey, you guys have stake in this company, but we're still Ubisoft over here. So now they have Ubisoft and Ubisoft Junior. And Tencent has money in Ubisoft Junior. Okay? So whatever they have work, hopefully they have something cooking up. Maybe the next the next big IP, Ubisoft will still own it. They found a way to finagle stuff for themselves in case things get bad. But it could still go 50-50. We could still see a downfall for some of our favorite. This could be the last good Assassin's Creed. We don't know. You're right. This is the perfect time to bring back Splinter Cell, ladies and gentlemen.
Into oblivion.
Bring it the fuck back, bruh. Bring it the fuck back. So that's the Ubisoft business update. They are not going anywhere for now, especially because Assassin's Creed not only passed 2 million players, but now 3 million. Assassin's Creed Shadows has reached 3 million players in its first week, the second highest day one revenue in franchise history, best day one launch ever for Ubisoft. 40 million hours have been played. And just to give context, I don't know if they'll ever beat Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That game fucking sucks. Me personally, this is just my educated guess. I feel like Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the best selling in the franchise because it came out during peak COVID. the perfect place, the perfect time. But if that game would have came out today, I don't know if it would have sold the same way. So like, I feel like this is a good position for them to be in. And I've seen some people like, you know, the grifters are trying their best. They're holding on. Well, they said players. They didn't say how many sales. I think the reason why they're using the word players, and you're probably going to see more companies use the word player, is because you have to keep in mind that Ubisoft isn't just selling hard and digital copies. They're also selling Ubisoft Plus. So they're looking at probably the influx of subscribers for Ubisoft Plus and including that into their sales. And that's why they say 3 million players versus 3 million copies sold. But people are trying to hold on. Why don't you guys get? That's why, because subscription services, guys. Not everybody's buying hard copies. So it can be a little bit harder to track the numbers. It was thanks to COVID. COVID boosted everybody's numbers, including mine. When nothing else dropped that time, pretty much. Somebody's gonna forget to cancel the subscription. They also are trying to appeal to investors, like how much traction we got. Pretty much that too, so they can get the best deal, have the most leverage possible with Tencent. There goes Siggy right there. So shout out to them for at least they're doing good with this. Does it count as a sell if their plan of the games putting their games on the streaming service? I'm not 100% sure how that works. I'm just taking an educated guess on why they're saying players versus copies sold. Any gaming company with a streaming service, I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing this shit to appeal to investors. Not gonna lie, I want the Ubisoft Plus sub numbers. What's that gonna do for you to have the exact numbers? People made Steam DB charts their whole personality. Ain't that weird? Games come out, motherfuckers ain't even talking about what they like and dislike about a game anymore. They pulling up Steam DB charts, and that's why I stand on it. That's why I stand on the fact that you don't gotta like it, but what's the name never had a chance because Steam DB. What's that shit that came out last year? My fucking brain is fogged. The hero shooter they called Woke. It was kind of mid. What was that shit? Shout out to Season Phil with the sub. Concord. Yeah, Concord never had a chance. The game was never promoted. Then they got a hold of the Steam DB charts, and motherfucker was like, "This shit is trash because nobody's playing it on Steam." Like, bro, you might have liked the game. I don't know. You might have liked it if you'd played it, but who knows? Somebody should have made that game free. It has X amount of numbers on players on Steam D. It's a bad game or it failed. Everything. I mean, that's just kind of the way everything's going. When I was watching YouTube yesterday, like literally my whole suggested on the right, it's just mad negative stuff. But it's like, that's what sells. That's all people want to watch. It's such a vicious cycle. I often try to wrap my brain around, how do I get around this shit, man? It seems like it's the only thing to grow. And then you have your more extreme side of negativity. You have people who are just reporting on something that happened. And then you also have like your grifters that are just reaching for anything. It's what sells right now. And people found something new to hook onto, which is Steam DB numbers. What up, Venus? What else we got for you? Oh, this one was funny. Same with music. Music is especially weird. If you're a Spotify or an Apple Music subscriber, you're pretty much you're paying $10 a month, you get the music, right? All you gotta do is listen to it and know if you like it or not. And motherfuckers be like, oh, it only sold 10,000 albums. I'm not listening to that shit. It's trash. Be like, you might have liked the album though. But what are you talking about? Nobody has, I want to say nobody, but a lot of people don't have opinions anymore. It's just mad sheep. So when somebody actually has an opinion, it comes across like you're just trying to be different. And that's not the case. Dumb weird right now is dumb weird. No offense, a bunch of AI generated bots around YouTube and other networks are getting ludicrous. Yeah, the bots are really bad on TikTok. You looked at a TikTok comment section recently. It's full of people, Jesus died on the cross, or it'd be like some super anti-American shit up in there, bruh. I was like, bro, what's dead? I'm starting to believe the dead internet theory. I do believe the internet is full of fucking bots. They be responding to my tweets all the time. I'd be like, that's a bot, bro. I be getting on JG all the time. I'd be like, JG, can you stop arguing with these fucking bots on Twitter? That's such an obvious bot, dude. But AI is only gonna make it worse. It's gonna make it worse. Why do people care about sales numbers if they're a CEO or a big shareholder? because their entire personality is based off dunking on people on the internet. Because when you don't have anything to add to the universe, your personality usually becomes dunking on people who do, or you become like overcritical. Well, actually, they don't have anything to add. In this world, you either build or destroy. And most people, unfortunately, are destructive because they have nothing they can build upon. You know that. But funny news. This was some funny news. So Grums, the #1 grifter on the internet, which I've been seeing on my For You page, there's about to be a hit piece coming out about him. I don't know. Apparently there's a bombshell going to be dropped about him. I wouldn't be surprised, whatever allegations come out. He was upset because Hassan, the streamer, he normally does political stuff. I guess he got a sponsored stream from Ubisoft, and he dressed as Naue, did a little cosplay, and he posted it, right, to support the game. And Grums tweeted, "You could tell a lot about Ubisoft with how much money they are throwing at these terrorist platforming streamers." All right. And then Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter, says Hassan is a fraud. And then he also says sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he is promoting a terrible game just for the money. So then the official Assassin's Creed account replies and says, is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you? This was crazy. I said, this is what happens when you let black people run your social media. This man you paid $44 billion to get cooked on your own platform, dude. We loved it. We need more companies. I never thought I would root for Ubisoft, but we need more companies. If you're not following, Elon recently got exposed a couple months ago. He said he was the #1 Path of Exile 2 player in the world, and it got exposed that he was paying somebody to play on his account. It wasn't him, which is obvious because he's too busy forming a coup in the United States and destroying our Social Security. But so how did he have time to play Path of Exile? That's how stupid his fanboys are. So that's what they're in reference to, basically calling him a fraud when this dude is over here calling people frauds and shit like that. But also, this nigga just does drugs all day and tweets all day. I don't understand. How do you have time to be the best Path of Exile player when you're fucking tweeting all day? This nigga needs to be worried about what's going on. Y'all see what's going on in fucking Wisconsin? Or is it Wyoming? I get those two confused. There's a Supreme Court election going on. Hold up. Is Wisconsin? There's a special. It is. Okay, I was right. Yeah, there's a Supreme Court election going on in Wisconsin, and this nigga tweeted yesterday, Elon Musk, "Come to my rally in Wisconsin. I got $1 million check for 2 people who voted. This man is trying to influence our elections with his money." He deleted the tweet because it turns out that's illegal. So the word around town is that this nigga shows up in Wisconsin, he's going to be leaving in handcuffs, and I pray he does. I've never prayed on a nigga's downfall more in my fucking life. Fuck this bitch ass nigga, bro. Every day I be checking the stocks hoping it hits like 100 or something, because for those unaware, Elon didn't really have $44 billion to buy Twitter. He's the world's fakest richest man. His value is based off his stock evaluation. So in order for him to be the world's richest man, his stock has to be X, Y, and Z, right? But if it creeps into like the $100 per share, somewhere in that range, the banks are going to come knocking like, hey, we can't keep giving you loans because you can't afford to pay us back because your stock value is dropping. So keep fighting the good fight, guys. Yeah, he never created Tesla, bro. He's not a fucking genius. He's an idiot. You seen the shit about Florida and the child labor laws? I did. There was a bill. Y'all know? You haven't heard this? Florida child labor laws. There was a bill that's been introduced. I don't think it'll pass, but that was introduced on the Florida floor. Florida's considering easing child labor laws after pushing out immigrants. So let's get this straight. If you haven't read this article, niggas in Florida are upset that the immigrants they told to go back to their country that they're deporting are now no longer picking these oranges down in Florida. And now that there's no workforce, they said, we're coming for your children. This is real, by the way. This is real. It's crazy. What's going on in this fucking country, bro? Fucking morons, bro. They are fucking morons. But you know what the good thing that's going on in Florida too? Another bit of Florida news is I saw that the special election there's 2 congressional seats, I believe, that are available now because they're now the former seats are now cabinet members in Trump's office. There's 2 congressional seats available in Florida, so they're holding special elections, and the early polls say them bitches about to flip. They saying Florida might turn blue. Niggas is pissed. Some people, unfortunately, got to put their hand on the fucking stove and get burned to learn, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, that's my daily update on life for you guys. Let's see, what else? Oh, Assassin's Creed broke PlayStation Store sales as well. Shout out to them. We see y'all doing good. Do you know if these articles are true about Elon pretty much selling Twitter to himself? Yeah, he sold it to like his AI company. I don't know what the point of that was though. And then they also released a heartfelt thank you letter this weekend. Many of us in the dev team spent time reading your reactions across the Assassin's Creed subreddit, and we just want to say thank you. The sheer amount of love and positivity we received has been incredibly heartwarming. Blah, blah, blah. They're just being nice. They're saying they appreciate you guys showing some fucking love. I'm pretty sure it's been rough for them. You heard Kentucky and Indiana's gonna sue Doge because Musk is gonna cut their health benefits. I told y'all that shit was coming.
Every bit of the Master Emerald.
I told y'all this shit was coming. Right before I started streaming, I watched a report on YouTube about how the average wait time for the Social Security office in the United States when people call up, because people's checks are not showing up. Like the retirees, the average wait time is 120 minutes to 180 minutes, which is 3 to 4 hours, guys. Because these niggas is going in and fucking with the Social Security number, Social Security database, an unelected official, and motherfuckers like, yo, stop talking. And no, like people need to be aware of it because it affects your grandparents. They don't want you to talk about it. They want you to be docile so they can do whatever the fuck they want. But niggas is not gonna be doing whatever the fuck they want on my watch. Shit, MAGA told you that shit was coming. Motherfuckers voted because that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different conversation too. Motherfuckers is mad because shit is affecting them. They thought it was just gonna affect us. But I'm at a standpoint of a win is a win. While we're on the same team, let's just try to get something done. Because that dunking on people's shit, it ain't gonna get nothing done either. More positive news. I'm getting my music back on the music streaming platforms. All right. Shout out to you getting your music on the platforms, bro. It was supposed to affect the DEIs, not me. Like, you are the DEI. You fat ass mama at the Walmart manager. You know what I'm talking about. You're a DEI. Split Fiction broke 3 world records in just a few days. That includes most played local co-op video game, most sold local co-op video game, and most sold local video game within 1 week release. Shout out to them. More positive news. I miss my grandparents, but I'm glad they didn't have to live in this presence. It's crazy. ESPN analytics. It really was, but hey, a win's a win, right? A win's a fucking win. You know what else is a win? I got some positive news for you. PS4 primates, come to the front. I know the PS4 primates are having a hard time trying to figure out how they're going to be able to afford a PS5. So I wanted to spread some positive news with you guys. Something that'll hopefully inspire you to get up and update your job resume if you have one, because you probably don't. Inspire you to change your underwear, get up, do something positive with your life. I came across this story. Well, I didn't come across this story. Shout out to y'all. Somebody tweeted this to me. Shout out to the community looking out. This person posted on a forum, I finally made it. I collected over 2,000 returnable bottles to buy a PS5 in Germany. In Germany, you get 25 cents per plastic bottle, he recycled. It took me 42 days of collecting between 2 to 3 hours a day, and I lost much weight. And after 42 days of recycling, cleaning up his local city's environment, he made enough money to get a PS5. Shout out to this brother. This story actually resonates with me. You know, my grandpa used to make me do this shit, man. when I would visit my grandparents, we would get big ass black big black BBC, big ass fucking trash bags, and we would just go around the neighborhood, and he would make me pick up fucking he would make me pick up plastic bottles, and then we would take it to the recycling place like that was in the city. I remember on average I would make like 25, 30 bucks a day doing that shit. So it is a real hustle. This man lost weight. You cleaning up the environment. You know, you making some money. This resonates because I've done this before. This is a thing you could do. If you really want that PS5, I don't know. I don't think y'all do it. Because if you would have got a job by now. But I'm trying to get, because listen, I'm not all about the jokes. I'm not all about the spitting on you primates. I'm also about solutions, okay? We don't want you guys to look like the fucking monkey from Ape Escape, okay? That's you guys, okay? You PS4 primates, just little cute little dumbass monkeys, just living your life, doing nothing. Ooh, I don't know how I'm gonna get a PS5. Get a job. Or you can do some recycling.